What are you riding today, Carmen?
The new women's Stratos for 2024. It's looking nice and fast. New graphic this year, new top sheet. Still an eco laminate top sheet, but we'll see how it rides.
Welcome to the Tribute Lounge. I'm Shane Johnsen, and today I'm with Shop Manager
Carmen Leung. How's it going?
And Carmen got a chance to ride the 2024 Women's Stratos. Women's in the sense that the core profiling's a little bit thinner, a little bit narrower board, and obviously shorter, right? What size was this one?
This one's a 149.
So 149 Stratos. I've been riding the 56 and absolutely love this thing. There's some unique changes though going into next year, right? Mm-hmm. What have they changed from those of us that have ridden the Stratos in the past? What's happening now?
So as you can see, they've changed the top sheet. So they've made a really nice like race top sheet. You've got white and black in the men's version this year. They've gone full Mario Kart race stripes, which is really awesome.
Yeah, and this burgundy is nice against the white.
And they've also changed the base a little bit too in terms of the graphic as well, which is awesome. But in terms of what they've made in the top sheet, it's an eco plastic top sheet, so a lot more durable that I've seen when people are, in the lift lines, you're running over things, people are running over your board. So I haven't seen any scratches
And in
yet.
the past, that has been a problem. Sometimes when we see people going to these eco top sheets, they get pretty beat up. And I can say we have a lot of days on this board. You've been riding it nonstop. Mm-hmm. It was in the demo fleet with the Jones guys. Bo and everyone was out from Dollhouse for Turning Man. And a ton of people rode this because I'm always hyping up the Stratos. I so freaking awesome. Love this board.
Such a great board.
Probably top 3 of all time, I would say. Another really unique design to this, obviously it's a tapered board, the amount of taper we will put above me here, but the spoon nose. Spoon nose, we've had a ton of pow for the last few weeks. Carmen's been out getting a lot of good pow hoots.
Getting a couple of good turns for sure.
And that spoon nose, you notice it, hey?
100%. Like it starts from that contact point, it's a 3D beveled nose, and you're just sitting on top of the snow. Like a lot of people like to compare it to being a spoon in the snow, and it really does hold you just straight up. And it's just an awesome shape. Like it's a swallowtail, but you can still ride this thing switch. And I'm pretty adamant that if you can ride switch, you can ride anything switch. But this is one of those boards, it rockers up at the back too. You can still ride it switch if you wanted to, but definitely a fun, playful free ride board.
Mm-hmm. Progressive side cut like in the past. And it also has MagTech, right?
Yeah, so Jones call it their Traction Tech 3.0. And Mark and I had a really great time running on groomers. The first one down Whitewater. And honestly, this thing grips on groomers like no other. You can pull a carve in and really hold that carve in from side cut, like from the edge control. It's just insane. This thing just rails.
Yeah, I would say the Stratos kind of falls into those boards where everyone wants a Quiver, but every once in a while you really have to make that decision. Be like, okay, you know what? I have enough money to buy one board this year. And this, for the most part, could be that one board. You can ride it fakey. I agree with Carmen. It's tapered. You're not going to do an entire run like that. No. But you could definitely land and revert around after, no problem. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely going to be leaning to the free ride category. So in BC, definitely. Where we are, that's kind of what we're riding. Baldface, all around this zone. We're in the trees. We want something that turns quick. This side cut is fast. They're not crazy wide unless you go to the wide boards. So you get a transition edge to edge that's pretty quick.
100%.
What stance angles did you ride on this?
So I had really similar to Arthur's actually. If you ever watched our last little video, he's running plus 15 minus 6. I'm running plus 18 minus 6. So definitely a little bit more open in the front. But I just like being able to carve, like coming from a skateboard background as well, and being able to open up my shoulders, open up my hips on the front edge. But yeah, in the groomers, insane. Being able to really just slash pow when we had a few power days up there as well. Awesome board to do it. And it's definitely my pick for if you wanted something that's you can do everything on, but you may not have the ability to buy 5 different boards. This is the one board to do it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this one is the 2024. Like Carmen said, there's an update graphic for the guys. These boards will be available at Tribute in September and always online on our website, tributeboardshop.ca. Any other riding impressions before we wrap it up here? I know, I'm always taking this out on a POW day, but I rode this in the Turning Man course. I demoed it, through our Turning Man course. This could be a Banked Slalom board all day long again. Progressive side cut, traction tech.
Traction tech, beveled nose, and honestly, a lot of Jones boards, a lot of people might not know this, but Jones boards do run a little narrower, even in their Bighorn series. So this narrow side cut will lend great to if you want to,
edge,
nice and nimble through the trees, but still enough float. And they do include something called the float pack, so you can move your spinings back further. But honestly, like it was deep, like last week when I was trying it out, and there's not really much of a need unless you really wanted to. You honestly, on reference, you're still pretty good. You're not. I've never had the opportunity to need to lean back and need to be back seat, and that 10 mils of taper really helps with that as well.
Yeah, for sure. So the flex pattern of this, being women specific, it still has the stringers in it, but you noticed it had a pretty snappy tail, hey?
Yeah. Nice and snappy, gas pedaling on any of the groomers. If you're trying to really get on edge, like you'll be able to feel torsionally how those like stringers really work. Once you hold an edge, you'll be able to keep that edge, and you'd be able to see that groove all the way up and through. I was almost doing 360s on a groomer. So
yeah, and the traction tech helps with that because that's going to bite in really, really well.
And I've tried a fair few boards, and honestly, this board held so well. And some of the groomers weren't nice groomers. Like you'd be on chunks of ice at some point, but it'd still be able to hold.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I'll mention, most of the high-end Jones boards have a sintered 9900 base. This rips. There's no question Jeremy Jones is going to make sure the fastest bases are going on his boards, and it's no different with the Stratos. This base absolutely rips, and you tune it right, you wax it often, and it's going to get harder, stronger, and faster. So yeah, to kind of sum up, the Stratos is that do-it-all free ride board. It's not a twin tip, but it's a definite do-it-all free ride. And I'd recommend that for most folks that are looking to do the kind of riding we have here in BC.
Yeah. Through it all, it'll do chunder, it'll do powder, and it's definitely up in the shop. At least you'll see a lot of the ladies and a lot of the guys. It's become one of our most top selling boards just because it can do everything. And quite a lot of the times, like with the way the industry is going, you might not be able to have, like I said, a quiver of 5 boards, and you just want one.
Boards are
getting
more expensive. Yeah, absolutely.
Or
absolutely.
you're surfing East Coast POW. You might just want one thing that can do it all.
Yeah. So if you're trying to land one of these for the 2024 season, check out the website, visit us upstairs at Tribute Board Shop. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.